Hi, my name is Christopher David Mitchell. I'm a coach, and today we're going to be talking about the topic of money. So we're going to be quickly overviewing the fact that is money actually important? Does it buy you happiness? How money works in terms of our business and our life? How much money you maybe need in life to maybe be happy? And also ways in which I believe are great ways for you to have more money in your life if that's what you wish. So money can be quite a funny, weird sort of dividing topic. There's a lot of emotions with money, whether it's like fear of losing money, or a lot of people who like literally just their whole lives they're striving for more and more money. Some people believe it does buy you happiness. Some people believe it's not important at all, really. So I just want to share this important topic and get into some of my thoughts. So is money important? And my short answer is yes. Does that mean that it's the be all and end all? Absolutely not. And I'm going to go through a strategic way of explaining why, linking to a source of Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. But basically it is important. It's still a basic human need these days to have security, shelter, comfort, and obviously, you could say, well, most people can afford a home and then that needs ticked. And the fact is that in cities like New York, LA, London, if you don't have money and you're struggling, A, you'll probably be quite stressed in life, but B, especially for women, I feel like their security, their need as a human being of a feeling of safety and security can be compromised if you're living in a particularly, rough area of some of these cities of London, of New York, of LA. It's unfortunately true. So I do think it's important to get down the basics of money so you feel like you have your security and safety needs met. So this links, as I say, Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs, which I'll show now on the screen. So money basically isn't that high on the list of needs, but it's still a human need. As we see there, it goes into the safety needs of personal security, employment, resources, health, and property as well there. So those needs are actually still human needs. And if we feel like they're at risk, or we feel like our security is slightly at risk, then that is the modern day equivalent of money. Now, like I say, I'm not saying you need to live in £1 million mansion to feel safe. We'll get to that in a sec. All I'm saying is that if you were struggling so much that you felt like you were living in an area that had a lot more crime, or you just didn't feel comfortable as a woman walking around and going home at night. I'm talking about that stuff. So let's get on to the studies of money and happiness, which is that it's situational. But you might have heard this sort of survey that people are happier, they've said, who have money up to a certain amount. And that certain amount, like I say, is not as much as we may think, but apparently, depending on the city, the situation, the country, the culture you live in, I just know for London, I was looking it up, and it was about 70,000. I think 70,000 it said was around about that. Could be 75, could be 65, but it was somewhere around £70,000 a year salary was where, with surveys, people's happiness went up with that salary. And then after the 70 grand, it wasn't that different. It sort of just petered out then, and people's happiness levels, it didn't make a difference. But up till 70 grand, we saw apparently people's happiness levels going up when they were surveyed. And after 70 grand, it petered off. And of course, to me, this makes total sense. Because in London, up till 70 grand, you really can live in a bit of a better area. And even if you're doing stuff like, you've got decent place to live that's got a park, you feel like your security's fine, you feel comfortable. And even it's been shown, like, if you've got to make a long commute, so if you can't afford to live in somewhere that you want in London, and sometimes you have to make a long train commute, or a long car commute to work, that can make a difference on happiness. But basically, all these basic needs are sorted when you get to about 70 grand a year. If you're earning 70 grand a year in London, you can live in a decent area, you can feel safe, you can feel comfortable, and you don't need to worry. You don't need to stress, you don't need to worry about the rent, the mortgage, the bills, right? So you've got that basic need met. And like I say, on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's only actually second on the list. So that's why money is important, because it still is one of our basic needs, but this security need is only the second one in Maslow's hierarchy. And so, you know, thriving in the lower second base of Maslow's hierarchy is not the point of life. The point of life is to get this stuff sorted so you can move on to the higher needs. You can move on to self-actualization, your best self. All Maslow's hierarchy of needs is saying is that it's hard to become your best self if you're constantly worried about, you know, paying the bills at the end of the month, or you don't feel safe in your environment. But it totally makes sense to me that this 70 grand thing with London, because once you had that, I feel like you'd feel safe, you'd feel comfortable, and you'd have that need met. Then it doesn't matter if this shirt is, you know, by Armani or it's from Primark. It doesn't really increase my happiness or make me sleep better at night. It really makes sense to me of like, we need it to fulfill that need, tick that box as it were, then go on to the more purposeful, higher level ones. That's what really life is about. So does money buy you happiness? Well, sort of, yes, only because if you don't have it, then you're going to be one of your lowest survival modes is going to be threatened if you don't have money at all. The point is going higher in life through self-actualization, self-transcendence. These higher ones actually give you fulfillment and happiness, not just maxing out on the lowest survival needs of money and security. That's where people go wrong when they get into this materialistic sort of way of seeing the world, and why they're not fulfilled and happy, because you can't be happy by just satisfying the basic needs. You need to get them down, met, and then go on to the higher needs. And in a business sense with money, I love what Simon Sinek says, a great author, Start With Why. Yeah, he's a pretty inspiring guy. I really like Simon Sinek. And he says that with business, money is not the point of a business. Money is just the fuel that keeps it going. So I think his analogy is the car is like, if you're a business, whether you're a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, or you've got a small business with a team, the point shouldn't be to make money. But he says the same thing, that money is important, because without it, you're out of business. Do you know what I mean? You're out the game. The Infinite Game, one of his books I'd recommend. But it's not the point of why you went in. The point is like, what do you want to do? How do you want to change people? How do you want to change the world? How do you want to have an impact on the world? And money helps you get to that cause and purpose that you have for business. You know, even without money, I mean, I'm shooting on a camera right now. There's lighting, you know. It's needed to get the fuel in the fire going, but it's not the real deep reason for it. So I like that example with business. So how do you go about actually having more money in life if that's what you need? I've gone from like, you know, having no money when I went through my health operations and issues. I was on the dole, you know, and just getting money from the government to try and keep me going through those times of operations, to now having my own business, my own company, etc. And so really the number one advice I would say is that money is a value exchange. A lot of people have the wrong approach to money, where they think, how can I get more money? How can I just have more money? What are the ways I can get more money? But they've got it the wrong way around, because who is paying you the money? It's other people. And other people are only going to pay you money if there's something in it for them. If there's something incredibly valuable in the product or the service you're creating. And that's it. Like, if you provide massive amounts of value to someone else, whether it be through entertainment, whether it be through, you know, the car, the Tesla car. It's a good example here that Elon Musk apparently hardly spends any money on advertising. And when you see his interviews about marketing, he says, all we do is create the absolute best car that we can. That's where we put all our money into. We create the best car possible that we think is loads better than the competition, because he knows that if that car is so valuable, it will sell itself, because people will want that in their lives. So if what you're doing with your products and services is just okay, then the reflection of that is how much money you get paid. But if you can put everything you've got into the best, being the best coach you can be, building the best car, building the best service, building the best restaurant, then people will come back and they will give you money, and in exchange you will earn a lot more money, because what you provide in the world is valuable. Now that's a hard path to go down sometimes. You need to perfect your craft. It takes time. It takes time to do this the proper way of just providing something valuable and meaningful to other people so much that they can't help but pay you for it. Like if I came up with a device that was, a machine that you put in £10 and you got out £20, that thing, I'd be a billionaire. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone would want it. I don't need to do ads on Facebook or anything like that. That thing would just completely sell like anything, because everyone would want it. And I think that's where someone like Elon Musk has just tapped into this thing about, I just need to put every ounce of energy into making the most valuable, amazing car, giving the most amazing experiences for my customers. And that's what I try and do with my coaching. I'm no Elon Musk, but I try and provide the most value, the most knowledge. I try and pass on everything to you guys, whether I'm talking about money or marketing or coaching or overcoming fear, or even sharing my health story was a way of me providing value, so that, for you guys, you say, do you know what, that really inspired me, and thank you for putting that out. I'm just always trying to give, and the money comes back in return. It's you giving out and the money comes back. Not how can I get it first, but put yourself in the mind and the shoes of the other person, because other people are going to be the ones giving you the money. Other people are going to say thank you so much that they give you that piece of paper, which in and of itself is worth nothing. But that's an exchange of saying, hey, you've done a good job, this is worth it. So that's it for today. I hope it was valuable to you. Please check out my website, christopherdavmitchell.com, for coaching, more courses I'm going to be having soon. Click the like button if you like this. Comment whether you agree or disagree with me about money. And a lot of that will depend where you're at on your journey of money. Because when you don't have it, people then, obsess about it, because they need that need met in the Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. And then you see this shift in people that when they have money, suddenly they say, oh, money's not the thing of life, and money's not that important. We all know these, millionaire businessmen who say, I don't do it for the money. Well, of course they don't, because their needs are met. So your perceptions about money will change depending on where you're at on that journey of Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs, on that journey of earning 70 grand a year comfortably, and just on your journey of, whatever you happen to be doing within your career. So I hope that's helped. Till next time, I'll see you then. Take care.